It's a beautiful evening right here in the cool city of Enugu State, and you already know what time it is. It is NKA time, only on Afia TV, broadcasting live from the most beautiful part of Nigeria. I'm talking about Enugu, Nigeria, on DSTV 254 and GoTV 17. A lot of you say, we say this all the time, but it's true. Enugu State is blessed and it's beautiful. And if you doubt what I'm saying, you definitely need to come around to confirm this for yourself. My name is Chioma Bulama Ashebu. Pleased to be here. It's the day to Friday. You know, I'm always happiest when it's Friday, but I mean, it's Thursday and we're training back to a lot of memories. So I'm pretty delighted today than I was on Monday. And, you know, looking at the internet, there's a lot happening. But right before that, if you are watching us for the first time, thank you so much for opening your hearts and your homes to us. We love and appreciate you. Nka simply means art in Igbo. And when we did start off, we started off with having conversations with people who are in the entertainment industry. But over time, we've expanded and we definitely have amazing conversations with inspiring people here to inspire you and me, and of course, entertain you also. So back to the social media platforms, something I saw today got me thinking, and it's something that we definitely need to sit down and discuss. It has to do with religion. So a friend of mine posted and said, if you would like to learn discipline, try and engage an uneducated or educated Muslim, you would find what you're looking for. So she shared a story saying that she got a Hausa Muslim man to do a project for her, and she wasn't disappointed. The time he said he was going to deliver, he definitely delivered at that point. And she just said, Christians, you all need to do better. And we definitely need to learn discipline. And it made me think, especially when it comes to handymen, especially when it comes to people who have skills. Is it a religious thing? Is it a discipline thing? Or is it just a personality thing? I think these are things we need to talk about. These are areas we need to really look into. Because truth be told, one thing I admire about the Muslims that I need to say, and I can say anywhere, is how devoted they are to their faith. Muslims pray how many times in a day? But when it comes to the Christendom, there are lots of conversations about pray, don't pray. And now we're talking about discipline. I'd like to know your thoughts on Afia TV official. Do well to let us know what you think. Is it personality? Is it religion? Is it tribe? I don't know what you think, but I'd love to know. We'll go for a quick break right now. When we do come back, I will be introducing my rather fantastic guest. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, NKA, only on Afia TV. And yes, I did promise to introduce a rather fantastic lady. So, a quick summary of what I felt when I went to her social media platform. You know how you have to investigate, you have to research on your guests when you get their details. So I did this little snooping around, and I went to her Instagram handle. I saw her lovely photos, you know, with her doing what she does best. And it was really lovely to see. But there's something I saw that threw me off balance. And I definitely need to ask her that question today. She talked about being a business advert officer. What comes to mind is probably for her media organization. She's probably a business advert officer for that brand. But I think we'll get to find out in just a bit. Well, joining us tonight is no other than a beautiful on-air personality and business advert officer. We have Chioma Cynthia Agu. Good evening. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm so happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you.
Honestly, I'm honored.
We hear you talk on Sundays about love, advising people, and you tend to get a lot of heartbreak calls. So we'll definitely delve into that.
Yeah.
But I'd like to get clarification on business advert officer. While we know you're an on-air personality, business advert officer, are you a business advert officer for your media organization?
Okay, the idea is that I am mediating businesses, between businesses and their audience, okay, through adverts, because, you know, adverts helps to commercialize and increase sales, business sales. So what I do basically is I facilitate adverts, jingle production, audio production, commercials, publicity, whatever it is that has to do with the business and even event programming and hosting. So what I do is I facilitate these things on the technology media, whether radio or TV, you understand, or even social media. So I facilitate adverts, I put this adverts, I compose, I go as far as composing adverts from the scratch, like like a personal company jingle, more like an anthem for a particular company. So I brainstorm on the lyrics that has to do with the company image. So I do a lot of brainstorming, and then I come up with scripts that project the company to its audience, improve the public image, and help them achieve their goals. So the business advert officer is just basically what I have garnered, the experience I've garnered so far. For the years I started learning how to improve my skills and my expertise on business adverts. So I've gotten a lot of experience so far, and it has really helped me, because I I intend to have my own set of my own adverts of a company called Agotech Media.
You already have a name. That's good.
Yes, where I can, facilitate business adverts for businesses, increase commercialization, and rather, develop
And make money.
Yeah, make money.
And in the English you're speaking, you talk. It's more like this: perspire to inspire. Just say it,
Yes,
because
of course.
at the end
I
of
make
the day,
money.
when you bring advert placements, there comes some commission, there comes
Yeah.
some money.
Of course, I mean, everything I'm doing, the passion has to pay me. It has to. So yes,
Okay.
make money.
Okay, that makes sense. So to digress a little bit before coming to your journey so far,
Yeah.
what do you think about what my introduction when I was talking about how, to a very large extent, Muslims seem more disciplined,
Yeah.
more disciplined to Christians?
They are. You're right when you say that Muslims seem more disciplined than Christians. I think it's because they are more like they seem to take the faith at a very high level. Like they are very fanatical about, or zealous. Let me use the word zealous. They are overtly zealous about their religion, and they believe so much in it that it makes them feel like like they have something to contribute, like something that they are more of a people that has to contribute something to society than Christians. Like what I'm trying to say, that they take their faith so
I
seriously.
like the way you're trying to be careful, because you're like, I'm trying to say this, but I don't want to say this.
Exactly. They take their faith very seriously, more than Christians. I don't really know the reason why. Till today, it's beats my imagination.
It just brings up, it sparks up different kinds of conversations about, as Christians, what we need to do better. I see them when it comes to the fasting period, you see people fasting,
Yeah.
you see them avoiding anything that ordinarily maybe on a good day they would have. You see how devoted
Yeah.
they are, to their faith. And it's very beautiful to see. And I can't wait for Christians or Christendom to an extent to get to that level where you have confidence, because this just showed what my friend posted on social media, just showed that a lot of people have lost trust in some humans, and to a very large extent some Christians. I said some because not every Christian is the same, and not everybody is the same. People are different and they have a right to be.
Yeah.
All right, so away from all of that, let's talk about your journey so far, where you did grow up, schools you attended, and how it led you to media, or did you read journalism?
Yes, I did. But growing up, I was not much of an extroverted person. I was more of an ambivert. I'm only freer when I find people that I vibe with and I'm comfortable with. So I can remember writing short stories that I would like to that I enjoy reading with my peers in classroom when there's no teacher in class, and I also remember doing some spelling bees. I participated in spelling bee competitions.
Interesting.
Yeah, I did. And then growing up, I also attended some parties, children parties that were organized by the National Television Authority in Aba. So that was where I always saw this particular presenter, lady presenter, that
What's her name?
I admired so much, Mrs. Lizzie Abai, then. Mrs. Lizzie Abai. So she was someone that her courage, her presentation, her poise, I admired it so much. So I began to secretly nurse that knack for presenting and wanting to, use my voice to drive national development and, through impactful conversations like this. So I felt that, being in the media would help me live out that purpose. Yeah, I lived when I applied for JAMB, yes, and then I got into the Mass Communication School of Communication Studies. That was where I consciously, because I already know where I wanted to be already, so I consciously, participated in auditions for debates, class discussions and practicals, basically, that would help, improve my skills when it comes to public speaking. So I was living with an intellectual who was very conversational, who was highly conversational.
I was going to ask, I like the fact that you talked about, going for parties, and you felt like you're very excited. You had a very exciting childhood.
Yes.
So, were your parents in media, or did they have friends who were in media?
No, my parents were not in the media at all.
Interesting.
They were just traders. They were not in the media.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was the one who just consciously, secretly lost that, desire to, be out there and, be part of the nation development. Because when you have conversations like this, it helps to shape our minds in society. So I felt that was where I wanted to be. I wanted to, fulfill my purpose in that space. So I felt that after I entered school and I was living with this intellectual who groomed me, like he was a then vice chancellor of ASUT back in the days. So he was someone that even if you don't want to talk, he will talk. He always liked to engage in conversations, And the thing made me, I said, like, I now talk too much. I talk too much, basically, But then it helped to, bring out, like, not that media forte and my personality. It helped to nurse, me more and more. And so I just got better over time. Then after school, I said to, apply in some of the media houses to volunteer. I just wanted to volunteer. But I was met with,
I like where we're going to.
I was met with very, very discouraging response.
So let's talk about those discouraging responses that you came to meet.
Yeah.
Fresh out of school, you want to practice what you learned. Yeah. So what were you getting, especially in the Southeast here? I'd like to explore that for a little bit.
Well, when I got to meet for an interview, one of the
you want to call the names? I'm happy. I'm happy to hear the name of the media organizations that you went out to. So we call them out and say, do better.
I won't call them names, but I think they know themselves.
They know them.
They do.
You can actually give us alphabets. The media organizations in Southeast. While there are many, we know them.
The thing is, I would respectfully not call names. Like I said, they know themselves.
Okay.
And so when I got the response, it was more like a sexual advance,
Interesting.
Yeah, I got a lot of sexual advance.
From how many media organizations, first off, did you approach?
I applied in like 5, and some of those, I think the advances I got in one of the places, that sexual advance discouraged me. It killed my desire to want to even do anything.
So because you wanted to volunteer, to learn, to be a stringer.
Exactly.
And you were met with...
Yes, I was met with sexual advances. I mean, I was trying to bring my value to the table, but my value wasn't seen. It was something else. And I was like, I don't understand.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know, some people might feel like it's not a big thing to say on TV after all.
No, but it's important we have discussions like this because it's wrong.
Yeah. Some people might actually think so, but the truth is, it impacts us differently.
Of course.
Because it really discouraged me so bad that I just withdrew I was like, is this what they do out there? Must I have to do this for me to get, there and, So I just felt that it was not something I had to maybe like change. But after some time of restarting, renewing, reflection and everything, I had to go back to that media space. I had to still search other places, start looking for other places. So during my service here, I got to volunteering opportunities, and then I started volunteering. That was what I've been doing, and then I now got a proper job in the media. And since then, it has been so exciting because I've garnered a lot of expertise, and the fact that I don't have to be seen through, my, what I call it, my sexual value. I had to, because I knew I was more than that. I had more to project. And so that's, even though it discouraged me, but now I no longer feel discouraged because I realized that, when these things are challenges that come, and you don't have to let them put you down or keep you down, but you just have to keep pushing, and the more you keep trying, you'll definitely persevere. So that's what I kept telling myself, and the journey so far has been really exciting. I really look forward to expanding my partnership and my values, my partnership in the media, and my services. But then I also, like I said, I want to start up my own media advertising space where I could,
I
do
mean,
more of that.
First off, I think I need to apologize for what you went through, because a lot of people will be discouraged, by just having to experience that. And I like the fact that we're talking about this at a time where it's almost Women's Month, International Women's Month, which is March, and 8th of March is International Women's Day. Because conversations like this need to be had to definitely put a stop to this. We talk about women in media and how we're breaking barriers and how we're definitely, changing the narrative.
Yeah.
But the truth is, on the surface, underneath it, we have lots of this happening.
Of course.
And this is definitely a public service announcement to people who still do such. It's wrong. And that's exactly why we have conversations like this, to call you out. And don't be too sure. One of these days, we might get to call your name on television. Probably that would help to stop this. But of course, the conversation has not stopped. It will definitely continue because it's wrong. And we say no to sexual advancement of any kind. It's wrong and it should be put out of the media space. We'll go for a quick break right now. When we do come back, the conversation continues. You're still watching NKA only on Afia TV. I remember I have the beautiful Chioma Cynthia Agu, on-air personality extraordinaire and business advert officer. And it's been such an amazing time with her and, very inspiring, talking about challenges that women have to face in the media space. Of course, like I said, this conversation will continue and it will not stop because we definitely need to say no to sexual harassment of any kind. It shouldn't have a place in any media organization. But it's still a pleasure to have you with us.
Same here. Thank you.
All right before we come back to the conversation, there's something we do on the show where we get to appreciate our guests, make them feel loved, make them feel appreciated. And right now, studio, if you're ready, I'm ready. I'd like us to serenade and make Chioma feel really good right about now. What are you expecting?
What am I expecting? What I'm expecting? Questions.
All right, there you go. Just take a look at the screen.
Okay. Aww. Oh my gosh. Okay.
How far back is this photo?
That's 2021.
2021.
Yeah.
Interesting. You felt like you were doing like an advertorial for that brand.
For what I was holding, that the perfumes.
Oh, perfume. Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. That's you again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's that's like, it's been long. Yes, when I was still living with my uncle, and it's been years since I left. I just wanted to grow my career, focus on improving myself, and because I didn't want to be in his cocoon like forever. Those were the pictures, and then this one is like 2020.
COVID year.
Yeah, 2020 after COVID year.
That's nice. So what we do with those photos is to give you a blast from the past and to remind you of how far you have come. You're doing amazingly well.
Thank you.
And of course, what we tend to do is to just make you smile and let you know that we're rooting for you because we know the best is yet to come.
Of course it is. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. Now let's talk about a funny question just came to mind. And you host a relationship program on radio. What would you say is the most interesting thing about having a relationship program on a Sunday? Sunday evening,
Yeah.
right in the Southeast?
Well, relationships, in the Southeast, of course, generally relationships are very wonderful, interesting topic. In fact, it's one of the topics that, like, even if I'm sleeping, if I'm sleeping, I'll be able to like say a lot of things about it.
So you love love.
I love love.
I like the way you said it. I love love.
Honestly, like, so it's really exciting because whenever I get a chance to be with my listeners and entertain them and host the show, it kind of broadens my horizon on what I already think about love, and it's more like gives me opportunity to learn from other people as well as contribute to improving their relationships too, because I'm also looking at like taking courses that would make me more knowledgeable in that relationship aspect, since I love love. So it's a very exciting program, Intimate Gossip, where I just mediate between them and their loved ones. Okay, and then I see myself as someone like how do I call event wall, where you just vent your heart and then tell me whatever is making you angry, who made you angry within a week or something like that. Then I make you feel better. I kind of comfort you with words, because words are very, very powerful, and when you say the right words to people, it has a way of making their day, especially when they're going through heartbreaks.
Now, in line with heartbreaks, what would you say is one of the most controversial issues you've had to deal with in line with heartbreaks on your program? Because, I mean, thinking about it, I've been on radio too, and I started off with relationship before delving into news and current affairs. So I remember having married couples sometimes call you. The wife is calling to say her own side of the story. The husband is calling to talk about their side of the story. And sometimes you get questions like, are you married? Before people want to share their stories. Some of the time you get questions like, are you married? Are you a marriage counselor? You also need to be careful with the kind of advice you give. So it's dicey, but what would you say is the most controversial? Because you see, the evenings and in line with relationships are very interesting conversations.
What's the most controversial part? I think when I was one of the times when I've been on air, I've had someone call me and complain about a heartbreak from a sugar daddy.
Interesting.
And suspecting
heartbreak from
a sugar daddy.
Oh wow! I mean, you're living the life.
I mean, I was thrown aback because I don't know.
How do I advise you?
Honestly, but I still had to give her my own thoughts. Like, it was my own opinion. Okay, it's not absolute. So I had to still comfort her and like tell her that okay, this is the realities of dealing with a sugar daddy, and these are things that you have to expect, implications. So it is left for you. If you know you love yourself enough and you already know this is what you want or this is not what you want, it's up to you to make a decision. I'm just mediating between, like, I'm just more like telling you this is the way it is. Okay, it's now left for you to choose. You understand? It's now you have to choose based on your values and of course your self-love or image about your self-love. I will still have to see a way to try and help you, improve your self-love game. But the truth is, I'm just gonna play the cards on the table for you to, make your decisions. I don't have to be. I'm not gonna be the one who gets to make the decisions for you. You understand? So it was really hard. You understand? At first, I was confused of what to say, but after I made her understand the implications of the realities of this thing, she she felt better, and was really very very grateful, and she now thought about it very well and realized that was not the path she wanted to take.
I deserve better.
She deserved better. So that's why.
That's one of the controversial conversations we've had.
Really, it threw me off balance. I didn't even know what to say.
Because I know when you have conversations like this, I think it's very wise to respect everything. Because you never know what people might throw at you. But that's a very interesting one. Now, I'd like to take you back for a little bit to challenges you experienced. You talked about sexual harassment. Aside sexual harassment, what other challenging thing or experience have you had in the course of trying to pursue the dream to be a media practitioner?
Oh, I think it's just well, I'd say the hazy. I'm just trying to like figure out my purpose.
Hmm.
Sometimes I'm here and there.
Hmm.
I'm not yet like I haven't yet figured out what I want to do.
Hmm.
Sometimes I'm distracted by friends because I'm also the party kind of person.
You are?
Yeah, of course.
Interesting.
I love
You love to
the
have a good
party.
time.
Of course. In as much as I, love to study and everything, but I also, that party vibes groove. I groove a lot.
You see, I'm liking you more as we continue this conversation, and I like the honesty. The honesty for me because
Yeah.
it just shows that you prioritize work-life balance.
Of
A
course
lot
I
of
do.
media practitioners can't say the same.
Oh, I do.
They cannot relate. So when you say I groove a lot, it just makes me feel so good
Yeah,
inside.
I do. So even like a lot of people, a lot of my colleagues are like, that they actually like the fact that I dance and I can dance.
You dance.
Yes.
You're going to dance for us on the show today. You're definitely going to
Honestly,
dance for us on the show today.
It's really something that makes me feel alive and takes off the tension of life and work. So sometimes I find it difficult to really like figure out, okay, where exactly do I just get
The
distracted.
journey to
Yes,
self-discovery.
I get distracted sometimes and I get confused. That's very, very one of the most challenging parts because the social media is full of a lot of noise and
Distractions.
distraction, and it's easy to get thrown off course sometimes, and that's what happens to me sometimes. But then, because I find time to meditate and reflect, meditation helps me a lot to come back to order and do my thing as I know how to do best.
I can't still get it out of my mind. I love to groove a lot. I think it's somehow embedded in my heart. But now that is definitely fantastic. Now, in line with being a practicing media person in the Southeast, looking at media organizations in the Southeast and how things are going at the moment, what would you say are your thoughts about the media industry in the Southeast? What do we need to do? What are we doing well? And what do you envision for the future when it comes to doing media in the Southeast?
Okay, I think what the media are doing well currently is that
In the Southeast.
in the South,
because it's home.
Yes, I love the fact that they give people platform, upcoming artists. I call them upcoming artists. They give the upcoming artists the platform to grow. I love that a lot, and Afia is one of those media houses.
Thank you so much.
So it really sets them aside and sets them apart. But then what I think they're not doing well is in terms of motivation, like motivating the the OAPs or the media
So
personalities.
now let's
to do
delve
well.
into motivation. Motivation in what sense? A lot of people will look at motivation from the financial angle. A lot of people will look at it from, trying to motivate people into being the better versions of themselves.
Yeah.
What area of motivation are you talking about?
Motivation in the sense that like most of the media houses are not open to suggestions. They're not open to how to move forward. Like they're not open to getting feedbacks and suggestions on how to better the services or what they offer. And then of course the financial is also among them. The financial motivation is not encouraging at all. A lot of us are in the media space because we love it. We just love it. Like me now, I'm a groovy kind of person, so media is a perfect place for me to be.
I like the way you highlight because I just imagine what your life now. You were painting a lot of pictures for me, and in my mind, we're having the discussion, and I just imagine the groovy parts. I like the fact that you always highlight it. It makes me so happy. So I mean that's definitely wise. What you said is definitely good. Of course, a lot of media organizations are not open to feedback.
Yeah.
And what do you see the media in the Southeast going in the nearest future?
I like that Afia TV is already taking the leading space, the leading position in taking the media space to the next level, and I really admire that about them. Well, I think in the next few years, the media space in the Southeast would be, such that it's a a global image. It's more of a global image that puts the Southeast in the global map and attracts investors, more investors, and international investors, in the international market.
Do you think it's a role that the government needs to play in achieving that?
Of course, the role of the government is to encourage the media, in whichever way, they need to come in to encourage the media and use it as a force for good, as a force to impact and improve the living standard. Because, of course, the media is more like the the agenda setter of the society. So if the government pays more attention to the media, it would help to pinpoint the pain points of the masses. So I'm talking about the Southeast in particular, so I can be able to improve the standard of living.
Very well said. Now, in line with the International Women's Day, and of course International Women's Month, which is coming up,
Yeah.
let's talk about women in media.
Okay.
Would you say that women are um, well represented in media in the Southeast? And if you think so, what do you think that we need to do? If you think they are not, what do you think we need to do to bring more women to the forefront or include more women, in media or support more women? And what would you say are the problems, apart from sexual harassment, just like you mentioned, women have to go through in media? Because everyone's story and everyone's experience is quite different from the other. So just a little on that.
Oh, aside from the sexual advancement and everything or harassment, the women, we go through the male dominance factor, where you're a woman. Just because you're a woman, you're not supposed to give orders, in whatever position you hold in the media space. And I think that's not good. It's not cool at all. So aside from that, I feel like there are women as a whole. I think we need to be more like network more, like support each other more.
I like where you're taking me to.
Yeah.
You feel women need to support. Are you saying in the South, it's here?
Yeah.
Women are not supporting women enough. No, it's just a thought because over time, there's been conversations about women not supporting women,
Yeah.
women not helping women. And of course, I remember during the elections where we were trying to advocate for more women on the ballot, more women or more participation of women, in the elections, and to get women to support women. It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard. So are you saying that that is one of the problems?
That's one of the problems. Women don't support women enough here in the Southeast in particular.
And why would you say they don't support each other enough?
I see it. I see what goes on in the media space. I see the competition. I see the
Unhealthy
bitterness,
competition.
unhealthy competition. Everybody just want to be the best. No one wants to help each other get to their get
Collaborate.
there. You get no one wants to collaborate with each other, because the truth is the sky is big enough to contain every star. No star is fighting to shine with the other. But it seems like for women we are stars, but it seems as if the competition, the unhealthy competition, will just let us see beyond our nose. We are more distracted with the paparazzis and the paparazzis of the media space. We don't support each other enough. And if we could have platforms or maybe community platforms that would encourage support and connecting women through fun and maybe some content, valuable content. If there's a community, a network, more like programs, events too for women that would help to encourage women to move on, like to pursue their dreams and achieve the best of who they can be. If there can be something like that, I think it's going to help to improve the woman relationship between with one another, okay, in the women world.
Now let's talk about the pay disparity. A lot of women have complained about, especially when it comes to the media space. We've heard lots of it saying, "Oh, I do the same amount of work as the man, but I'm paid less because I'm a woman." I don't know if you've experienced that or you've heard of it in the Southeast. And what are your thoughts?
Okay, but I haven't actually personally experienced it though, but I do know it's part of that gender factor thing, that okay, because you're a lady, you you don't have responsibilities as much as the man. You don't have those kind of expectations, manly expectations, as much as the man. So the man should be paid more. That's the logic behind these things, and it affects us on a very negative level. So I really think that should be addressed, should be looked at, should stop.
All right. I definitely will ask much later what you would like to see women in media, reach, the height you like them to see, the height you like them to attain in the nearest future. But now let's talk about you.
Okay.
What would you say is your best experience? Talking about milestones that you've hit along the way in your career so far, what would you say is one of those memorable milestones you hit, and how did it make you feel?
Well, I can say that I whenever I get to successfully talk on the space, whenever I get to successfully talk on radio, and I make someone feel better, I make someone feel better, and they like, just the fact that I am impacting positively in their lives. It's a milestone for me. It's as little as that. It's as little as that. It's a milestone for me. So one of the milestones, also like I mentioned earlier, was when I was given a task to compose jingles for a particular company. So it was something that I had to like, it disorganized me, because yes, it did.
Why so?
It disorganized me because I had to like really, really pay attention to what the client needed, because it's easy to just put what you want, and let them have what you want. But I had to pay attention to what they need. And sometimes there'll be a lot of changing, editing, and the confusion of okay, having to really get it right, exactly what they wanted. He wanted something more emotive. Client, he wanted something more emotive, more emotional and classic. But then
As a groovy person.
as a groovy person, it was more of disco. You understand? And it took me a lot to really, calm my spirit down and pay attention to what, he really, the nitty-gritty of what he wanted to pass to his audience. So it really took time. It was very stressful. It was very, very stressful, because I had to go through a lot in terms of, the logistics, just the logistics of getting that project done, because it was just a sole project for me to handle and come up with on my own. So I was happy that I, successfully came up with a jingle for radio and television that would, that helps the company achieve their goals and, improve their image, a public image. So it was a milestone for me.
We'll celebrate your milestone with you.
Thank you.
But now, I'd like to digress for a little bit and go somewhere rather interesting.
Okay.
So we hear you talk about love every Sunday evening on the radio. Now let's talk about your love life.
Oh my gosh.
For someone who talks a lot about love,
Okay.
how's your experience with love been? A lot of people come to you for solace.
Yeah.
A lot of people come to you for comfort. A lot of people come to you to feel good.
Yeah.
And, it's one thing for you to be happy and you give them that. But let's talk about you. How has it been so far? Are you in love?
Well.
Are you looking for love? Are you searching for love? What would you say you are right now in line with finding love?
Well, currently, I would say I'm looking for love.
You're looking for love.
Yes, I'm looking for
Hmm.
love. So I have to be honest with that. It's there's a lot of, how do I put it, back and forth.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. You
Okay.
understand? Like currently, I'm not yet,
Ready?
there. I'm not yet there.
So
But
when you
then,
say you're not yet there, it can mean different things. It can be that you're not emotionally available or ready to be in a relationship.
okay,
It can also mean that in the search of true love, you have not been able to find your spec, which now leads me to another question. What would you say is your spec?
my spec.
Yes, everyone has a spec.
Well, I think my spec is more of someone who is like, I think it's more of the emotional side.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
than
want a
physical.
mushy person.
Yes, but it doesn't mean I'm not attracted to what I see too.
Very
Of course, I
much.
want someone who is tall.
Oh, you want the TDA, tall, dark, handsome?
Of course, I do. And then you have to be like honest and kind, and of course generous.
I like the way you say honest, kind, and generous. So
Yeah.
honesty means you're not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Kind, you need to be a kind person. Generous. Generous in what sense?
Generous now.
Because your spec can be generous with compliments.
No. Generous, in every sense. Generous in every sense, in finance and compliments and emotional availability. In just romance.
Generosity all round.
Everything. You understand?
Okay.
It's not just one-sided.
Mhm.
It's just generosity in every aspect.
So I'm going to ask you some very rather interesting questions I see trending on social media. And I think I saw one not too long ago where someone was talking, because you are a relationship, media personality. So it's in line with what we're talking about. Ladies were asked if they could date their age mates or younger men. What are your thoughts on this?
Are you asking the question?
I'm
Are you
asking.
posing
No,
the question
I'm
to
I'm
me
not
now?
posing question to you. I would like your thoughts on it as it concerns you and not
Okay.
anyone else.
Oh, whether or not I can date an older or a younger person.
Your age mate, yeah.
Well, I know I'm gonna be like saying this, but that's just me. That's
Okay.
just it, okay. I would prefer someone who's older than me, like much older than me.
Way older, like 10 years older, 20 years older.
Yes,
Interesting. Why would you prefer that?
because I feel like there's some things that people with a certain age you get to know. As a guy, as a
Are you sure
man.
it's not generalization?
I'm
Because
not
we see a lot.
generalizing.
We see some older people who are not
It's
perceptive.
Yeah, of course. I know there are exceptions.
Got it.
There are exceptions, okay? But then this is just my opinion.
Of course.
Okay, I would prefer someone who is older than me. But I'm not really saying if a person has to be like way older, but older and matured. You have to be someone who reasons far ahead of me and also can vibe with me on my level too.
So now with these few points of yours, what you're trying to say is you can't date your age mates and you cannot date someone
exactly,
younger.
Exactly. That's what
Why do you feel you can't date your age mate and someone younger? Yeah.
I just feel that someone who is younger is less emotionally available than one who is older. That's what I think.
That's what you think.
Yeah, I think there are some aspects of how to handle a lady that they might not really get to know. They would know with time. They would know those perceptions or how to handle a lady. They'll get to know it with time. That's what I mean.
Got it. Well, this is rather interesting, just delving into your love life for a bit. But now, in line with advising women who are looking for love, which is what you do every week.
Yeah.
What is the first thing you tell them to do before letting love find them or before they go out finding love?
First of all, a lot of us is giving up on love. First of all,
when you say a lot of us, are you including yourself?
No, I'm not including myself.
Okay, a lot of people.
No.
Okay, so you now say a lot of people.
Yes, a lot of people.
Okay, because when you say a lot of us, it feels like you are included.
No, I'm not.
And that leads us to Is this coming from a place of heartbreak? You know, are there some experiences you've had that has shaped your line of thinking? But yeah, you say other people. That's okay.
Yeah, some people,
Some people.
okay, have given up on love,
Hmm.
and it's understandable because the dating climate in this part of our world is quite funny. So I understand that. But then you said what I would tell a woman looking
The first thing to do.
So first of all, I think you should keep your heart open. First of all, like love definitely is something that you would have to give to yourself first before you find it out there. That's the first thing I would tell any lady because ladies are more like we have a way of validating ourselves through love or relationships. It's not the same for guys, but there's a way we validate ourselves from the outcome of our relationship. So, and most of the times, because we are on the receiving side, it's usually not always favorable. So I think the first thing is love yourself enough. Like really, really love yourself enough. That's care, that attention, that respect that you want someone else to give to you, a man to give to you. Give it to yourself. Let him see it. Let him see you give it to yourself. You understand? And then keep your heart open. Keep your heart open, because anything can happen. That's just about it. Anything can happen. But first of all, you have to love yourself enough, and then give that love to someone. Because if you don't have love in you, you definitely cannot. You can't even receive nor even give that love to someone else.
I mean, very well said. You cannot give what you do not have. One final break, guys. When we do come back, we will be moving on to the game segment. And I think we have something very interesting up our sleeves. Don't go anywhere. Final lap of NKA only on Afia TV. And yes, it's been such an interesting, emotional, and rather interesting, if I do say so myself, conversation we've had with the beautiful Chioma Cynthia Agu about her journey so far and what she's looking forward to in the nearest future. But now it's time for the game segment.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else to ask you. I can't think of anything else to say, but to ask you your favorite dance step. Because so many times during the conversation, you kept on saying, I'm a groovy person.
Yeah.
I'm a groovy person. And we need the world to see how groovy you are. So right now, we'd like you to show us or teach us live on television your favorite dance step.
Okay, I don't know the name, but I just know the dance step.
You can definitely show us. I mean, you can get up and show us what you have.
Okay, you mean, that particular dance step that they usually, I think it's by H.I. Walang, something like that.
Okay.
That one is it.
Hey, 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 hey. Okay. I mean, I have not. You're definitely a groovy person. It's one thing for someone to say I'm a groovy person. Another thing for you to show us. You have shown me that you're a groovy person.
Yeah.
And it's been such an amazing time with you. Would you like to share your social media handles so people can go ahead and follow you?
My social media handles are Cheerful Oma on Instagram and Chioma Agu on Facebook.
All right. Thank you so much. We cannot wait to have you another time, to talk more about love, relationship, and of course, the media space in the Southeast. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
And on this note, we say goodbye to follow us on all our social media platforms at Afia TV Official, and do well to keep a date with us Monday through to Friday, only on Afia TV, 8 to 9 p.m. on DSTV 254, GoTV 17, and Free TV 748. I remain Jumai Bulama Ashebu saying good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.